Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from Grady Tech, and in this video, I'll be unboxing this Infinix Hot 8. Now this is the latest phone from Infinix which has just been launched, and on the box this phone is priced at 9,000 rupees, comes with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. On the box it is priced at 8,999, but it is being sold at 7,000 rupees, so at that price it's gonna be a killer deal. Now this phone is available in 4 colors: Midnight Black, Shark Grey, Cosmic Purple and Quetzal Cyan. And we have the cyan color. Now this is how the box looks on the front, and this is how the box looks on the back. On the back we have the main highlighting features like the bigger battery, bigger display, triple camera setup, direct sound mode, and we also have face unlock fingerprint scanner, and this phone will be running Android 9.0 right out of the box. Now without any further delay, let's just go on with the unboxing. So there we go. So at the top we have the phone itself. Let me just put that aside. So this is the cyan color. Next we have a micro USB charging cable, a 10 watts power adapter, SIM card ejector, some documentation, X Club membership, and let's say something about Google Files which come pre-installed on your phone. It is a free application and you can install it on any phone. Next we have some documentation, Infinix support guide I guess. Next we have the user manual. Finally we have a soft silicone pouch. For earlier Infinix phones we had a hard bumper case with the same cool pattern, but now they turned it to soft silicone case. Finally we get a free screen guard inside the box. So guys, these are all the contents of the box. Now let's come back to the phone itself. Now the phone comes with a sticker on the front with the highlighting features, and for some reason they are promoting Google's Files app a lot. Let me just remove that. Now this is how the phone looks on the back. It also comes with a sticker and some information, IMEI numbers. So this is how the phone looks on the back without any stickers whatsoever. And this is how the phone looks on the front. So guys, now let's have a quick physical overview. On the back this phone has a plastic back panel with a two-tone finish. This is a cyan color and it does look pretty cool. At the top we have the camera module along with the quad LED flash. Beside that we have the fingerprint scanner with a nice matte finish. Following that is the Infinix branding, and at the bottom it says Hot, designed by Infinix. Now on the front you get that massive display with the 2.5D curved glass and a dewdrop notch. Inside the notch we have the selfie camera, and above that we have the earpiece. Below the display it's completely plain, but it does have a pretty big chin. Now for the sides, on the right side you have the power and volume buttons made of plastic but have a nice clicky feel to them. At the top it is completely plain. On the left side it has a SIM card tray housing 2 nano SIM slots along with a dedicated SD card slot. At the bottom we have the 3.5mm audio jack, primary microphone, micro USB charging port and the mono speaker. Now this phone has a thickness of 8.7mm and weighs 179 grams. Just for quick initial impressions, phone doesn't feel all that thick and doesn't feel all that heavy either. It has a bit of weight to it, but doesn't feel too heavy. By the way, this phone has a massive 5000 mAh battery. That's the reason it is thicker and slightly heavier than your regular phones. So guys, now I'm gonna try out this case that we got inside the box. So guys, this is how the phone looks with the case on. On the back we have this cool pattern which gives a geeky look to it. Now the case has a raised lip on the front for the display and even for the camera module. So no matter how you place your phone, whether it's on the front or on its back, display and camera module are still very well protected. With that said, it doesn't offer any drop protection, so if you're worried about that, get a better case. Now let's check out the complete specifications of this phone. This phone has a triple camera setup on the back with a 13 megapixel primary camera with f1.8 aperture and 78-degree field of view. That's followed by a 2 megapixel depth sensor for taking portrait shots, and the final third camera has a low light sensor which will help you take better pictures in low lighting conditions. For selfies you get an 8 megapixel camera with f2.0 aperture and 81-degree field of view. On the front it has a 6.52-inch IPS display with HD plus resolution, water drop notch with 450 nits of brightness and 90% screen to body ratio. It has a new 20:9 aspect ratio which makes the phone much taller and still pretty comfortable to hold in a single hand. Under the hood this phone sports a Helio P22 processor with PowerVR GE8320 GPU with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. It will be running a custom skinned version of Android called XOS 5.0 based on Android 9.0. Finally, powering all this is a 5000 mAh battery. So guys, now let me turn on the phone and set it up and come back to you in a second. So guys, this is how the phone looks once we turn it on. Right out of the box, out of that 4GB of RAM, we get about 1.3 or 1.5GB of RAM free. And as for storage, out of that 64GB of storage, we get about 53GB of space for your user apps and user data. Now let's check out the about page. This phone is running a custom skin version of Android called XOS 5.0.1 based on Android 9, that's Android Pie, and right out of the box it is having the August security patch, which is pretty good. Now let's check out the camera interface. Now this is the camera interface, and by default it's in AI mode, and on the left side we have video recording. We can record video in 1080p resolution, and that's it. We can't change the frame rate. Next we have a dedicated beauty mode for the rear camera. Following that we have bokeh mode, that's rear camera portrait shot. Now on this phone we got a new feature where we can change the amount of background blur effect we want by using this toggle or the slider. If you put the F value low, you get maximum blur effect, and if you increase it, you get less blur effect. Next we have AR shot, which simply puts all these stickers to your face. I'll show you that for front camera. Next we have panorama mode. Now this is the interface for the front camera, and once again, even for selfies you have a dedicated AI mode. You can't take pictures without AI mode. Next for video recording, we can record video in 1080p resolution using the front camera as well. Next we have a dedicated beauty mode, and next we have portrait mode, that's portrait selfies. And here comes AR shots where we can add these stickers and take pretty funny looking pictures. So do crazy stuff like that. Next we have wide selfie or panorama mode for selfie. Just click it and twist your phone and you'll get a wider selfie. So this would be your regular selfie and this would be your wider selfie. It is a bit blurred because I've shaked it a lot, but if you take it normally, you'll get a perfect wide angle selfie. Now let's go back to the rear camera. Now over here we have a dedicated button for Google Lens where we can simply search for objects by pointing the camera at it. Let's try this little toy, and there we go. We got exact results for this toy. So that's pretty cool. Now let's check the capturing speeds. Capturing speeds are decent, but that shutter sound is too annoying. Anyway guys, now these are some sample pictures. Now let's test the speaker loudness. So guys, speaker on this phone is loud enough for ringtones, alarms and media consumption, but at the maximum volume there is a bit of distortion. So guys, now let's test face unlock feature. I've already set it up, so here we go. And face unlock is pretty fast. It is still not as fast as the Oppo and Vivo phones, but it is still pretty fast and probably faster than the Xiaomi phones. I meant phones like Mi A3. Now let's test it in low lighting conditions. And it's trying to increase the screen brightness to compensate in low lighting conditions. For some reason it failed. And if I bring the phone closer to my face, it works. So even in low lighting conditions it works, but you just need to bring your phone closer to your face. So guys, that was the face unlock feature. Now let's test the fingerprint scanner. Here we go. Fingerprint scanner is also pretty fast. Once again, not as fast as the Oppo and Vivo phones, but still pretty fast and probably a second or third best out there. Now let me walk you through the user interface very quickly. So this is your app drawer. On the left side we have some widgets, just like most phones these days. Now you can do a swipe up gesture to pull up the app drawer, and these are all your applications. Next we can do a swipe down gesture to pull up the search bar, just like the iPhones. Now this is your notification area. These are quick toggles, and these are all your toggles. Now over here we have an interesting feature called WhatsApp mode. Now once you enable this feature, except for WhatsApp, none of the applications will have access to internet in the background. So you won't be receiving messages on Facebook or Facebook Messenger if you have WhatsApp mode enabled. If you only use WhatsApp for messaging and want a better battery life, you can try that feature. Now before I conclude, these are the Antutu and Geekbench scores. So guys, this is the Infinix Hot 8. At a price tag of 7,000 rupees, this is definitely a pretty good phone. Especially if you consider phones like Redmi 7A, which don't even have a fingerprint scanner. So guys, what do you think about this phone? Let me know by commenting below this video, and if you're planning to buy this phone, use the link in the description. It always helps the channel. If you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter, and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from Greedy Tech signing off. Have a nice day.